Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I believe it's, 13? Oh my goodness. Episode 13 of Chemically Bonded, which is absolutely crazy that we've gotten this far. I've struggled. I don't know if I really want to make this episode. I've been pushing it off just because I'll show you why. You know why. Because I have to make this decision right here. I think this is probably going to be the hallmark decision that makes or breaks the route. I made a little chart here. Let me insert that here. Look at that chart. Beautiful chart. Probably one of the most amazing charts I've ever seen. Basically, we have two options here, and it can go two different ways. That's usually how 50-50 shots work. Anyway, if we support Kyoko, we're basically, just saying like, oh yeah, it's all Naomi's fault. She's not your friend or anything. It's not like she was trying to help you win that race because she cares about you. But on the other hand, if we defend Naomi, it's kind of saying, hey, you already know we've been hanging around her, and that's just further like pushing her away. It's like, hey, maybe we like Naomi more than you. Maybe we don't want to be your friend. So it's just a really difficult decision, and I don't know what I'm going to pick. I came into this not knowing, and I still don't know, but I think I'm just going to go with my heart here because, I'm going to do it. Ooh, I don't know, fellas. And I'm not one of those people who goes back to the save file and restarts, so we are stuck with this decision. No music, by the way. This is very somber. Okay, here we go. Her eyes still waiting for an answer. The only thing that really comes to mind is her feelings. Not Kyoko's, but Naomi's. A girl distraught over her own actions. That's clear enough from spending so much time around her. But today, I could tell her pain had gotten worse. She's desperate. It might be hard to forgive her, but I think she knows that. For you to be such good friends, I can't see why she'd suddenly turn on you. She wouldn't just mess up your race out of malice. It's probably a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
She was your best friend, right? Kyoko's eyes still tell a different story, that of hurt. No matter how smart she really is, nobody's able to find the truths they need that easily, the mask of emotions covering up what both of them really feel.
It could be, but she kept her distance. I can't help but think she was scared. I was the second best on the team.
Oh, man. We didn't know that. This is quite the development. Oh my.
I don't know. I'm going to take some time to think about it.
I guess that wasn't too big of a decision. Maybe it will be later down the line, but I think we're okay. Wiping away the tears meandering down her cheeks, Kyoko looks up with a smile that, as cute as it is, really pulls on my heartstrings. A girl once filled with sadness, now beaming towards me, even though she's still filled with sadness anyway. It just goes to show how far our relationship has really come. Yet, I still need to work things out with Naomi. With the train screeching to a stop, a quick glance out the window shows that we've arrived at our stop. Hopefully Naomi realizes this. She'd probably blame me for being stuck in the toilet. Looks like we're here.
Coincidentally, I also happen to be getting off at this stop.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Sai. Really?
Promise. Who is she, anyway?
Just an old friend.
You mean an old acquaintance? No, wait. That still implies we're pretty close. An old stranger.
She's just a person. Door sliding open, our conversation stops abruptly as the three of us make our way out of the train. Met by the looming evening sky, a quick glimpse behind my back reveals a familiar figure in the distance. I guess we'll have to see each other tomorrow.
Your room is disgusting.
Oh man. 2 girls in a room. Oh my goodness.
I agree.
Why are you even here? For Naomi to be here is one thing, but for Sai as well, it's a situation I didn't expect to find myself in. From departing with Kyoko, it didn't take long for Naomi to sprint up to us, what with her abilities. But to then say, "I'm tired, let me in to rest," defeats the whole purpose of using the energy to run up to us in the first place. And she doesn't even look tired. Of course, Sai had to come in as well, contradicting what she said earlier.
There's a surprising lack of tissues in here.
I just let it go on my stomach and fester in my belly button. Pointing towards my bin, all I can do is sigh as Naomi continues to rummage through my room. Why are you even looking? Do you get off on this or something? I thought you hated me.
No, I don't hate you.
Yet she doesn't deny the thrills from invading my privacy.
Check beneath his bed. There's probably a sock under there.
Alright, looks like this episode's going to be called Naomi Found the Poop Sock, or maybe the Cum Sock. I don't know what it's going to be called, but if I don't title it something like that, then I have failed you as the Markapi Sue channel creator that I am. Gosh, I'm having a good time. Don't look under there. Naomi, reaching in cautiously with her hand tucked away into her jacket sleeve, slowly drags out what I absolutely didn't want her to see. Dude, if there was actually a poop sock, I would lose it. A strewn collection of magazines, each one slightly worn from years of use. This didn't have to happen.
Origami digest.
I really get off to polygons. What's wrong with having a hobby? You like running, right? Kyoko likes science.
I knew you were a weirdo, but I'd feel less disgusted if I actually found porno.
Me too. Who gets off to origami?
That's not what they're used for. And why would anyone use porno mags in this day and age when we have the internet? Almost in sync, Naomi and Sai look over towards my desk. My laptop, still on standby, makes a whirring noise, adding more pain to the silence. Don't even think about it.
I wouldn't want to touch it anyway.
That stumble says otherwise. If you're so disgusted, why don't you just leave? I have work to do.
I thought you would have wanted to spend time with me. I wanted to spend time with you.
Nut! Naomi trails off, looking blissfully towards the window with a look of thought within her eyes. I wonder what she's thinking.
Anyway, I should probably get going.
If she's going, then I'll join her. But thanks for the tour.
It's not as if you were invited. Walking towards my door, I let out one last set of words to the girl before me, caught up within her own melancholic world. Naomi. Turning around, she stares at me with a set of weary eyes before looking away with a soft blush. Thanks for today. I enjoyed it. Stopped by a brief bit of hesitation, Naomi finally manages to speak up after leaving her mouth ajar, thoughts hanging in the air.
I enjoyed it too.
Nice. I'm just gonna make a quick comment. Sai's pretty weird, but she's like that quirky weird that makes her likable. Like, we just met her and she just came inside our room. Anyway, on with the show. My heart now beating. It's those words which could hear again. It's those words. Wait. It's okay. Well, one more time. My heart now beating. It's those words which could hear again and again. her voice. I think it's supposed to be which I could hear, maybe. Naomi. Water break. And the quote is, "I wanted to spend time with you," by Naomi. Looks like it is 8:31 on a Tuesday. That's kind of epic. What kind of stuff do we got going? Oh, imagine that. Sunlight. Morning sunlight seeping through the windows. The class settles down into a state of silence as the usual study session begins. A usual atmosphere rife with conversation, gossip, and giggles, now tranquil as we focus on the work before us. Well, most people. Having spent the day with Naomi, I can't help but think more about the relationship between the two of them. The world I'd happened to uncover all from opening one small door. It's a situation I couldn't have expected to find myself in. What normal guy goes about his high school life trying to make people friends again? I really could be doing something else. But it's not as if I'd want to. Catching up with the scribbles on the chalkboard, I avert my eyes from the light and duck my head down into the book with haste. I really don't want to be caught out by the teacher. Transition. The striking of the bell marks the end of class once again, the previously muted chatter and gossip now springing fully back into action as the class erupts with noise. It's lunch, so no doubt something interesting is bound to happen. Recently, after having spent so much time with Kyoko and Naomi, my daily life is always filled with uproar or cute moments which I'd miss if things reverted to how they were before. Both of these girls are now a part of my life. They're my friends. I want them to be friends again too.
Natsumi, I forgot my lunch money. What? Again? It's not my fault.
Walking through the convoluted room, classmates sprawling in, out, and around the room during the break. I approach Kyoko's desk as usual to find herself focused intently on something in her hands. Well, what are you doing?
I'm trying to fix it.
Peering down towards the item, all I can see is a small plastic pipette embraced between her small pale fingers. You're not going to fix that.
I can.
The pipette, clearly bent out of shape, remains dented and twisted no matter how hard Kyoko tugs and presses on it.
What if I tried biting it?
That's not going to work.
Whatever. I'll just get another one from the club room. I'll have to see you later. There's work to do.
That, or she just wants more time to try out the new goodies she bought yesterday, knowing all too well that I'd favor eating over experiments. Alright. Do you want me to bring you back anything?
It's fine.
Not even an orange juice?
I brought my own.
Raising her hands in her usual happy manner, Kyoko smiles widely, shouting out her words energetically, enough so to get us a few looks. Still, seeing her like this really is sweet. Her cute, puffy cheeks gracing her silky brown hair as she takes a moment to finally tie it back in her trademark style.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you too. Leaving Kyoko to her business, she treats me to one last glimpse of her cute, captivating smile before I head out into the corridor. The sounds of students still present remain muffled behind the walls as I make my way down the now emptying corridors. It's no surprise to be late to lunch, but it's not as if I really mind. What's with Naomi being one to prowl the school during lunch breaks, maybe I can actually find her and tell her what I've learned from Kyoko. It's either that or the desire to speak to her itself, pushing me further towards the cafeteria. Another little transition here. As usual, the cafeteria is full of life as the people around gather at tables to eat and talk, their daily routines. The stragglers, like myself, left to fend for the remaining food they can get as the noise within the room increases to that of typical school levels. The now afternoon sun now beating through the windows, leaving me famished for a drink as I stroll leisurely towards the vending machines. To be honest, I need something to refresh myself after dealing with all the commotion this past week.
Where do you think you're going?
Dude, she got that ponytail going. Oh my gosh, dude. And the little ribbon, little bow action. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stopping me in my path. I almost choke as Naomi speaks up, grabbing me by the collar as she does so. Her skin, briefly skirting across the back of my neck, is still as soft as I'd expect it to be. Considering this was the girl who had a problem even looking at me, she seems awfully comfortable confronting me with most of the school as her audience. I'm going to get a drink.
Here.
Thrusting a bottle into my hands, the chill of the drink and the warmth of her hands mixed create a unique sensation at my fingertips. Her face, showing what's now a commonly embarrassed expression, is shyly shifted away from my own as she continues to speak up.
Come with me. Please.
Naomi, now tugging on my sleeve, looks up with a shyly woeful expression, a look coating her face that I'd rather not see in contrast to her usual beauty. Even if I do face her wrath, her usual insults and jabs, I can't deny that she is rather attractive. She didn't top both the guys and the girls list for no reason. Walking along with her, my eyes catch the heads of various people in the room tilt towards us. Sure, it's not that many, but our presence doesn't go unheeded in the room, a true reflection of Naomi's popularity. Despite spending so much time with her, despite getting so close to her, I can't see her as the person I thought she was anymore. Someone who was unreachable by the likes of me, a superstar, the popular girl. I'd always thought she could get any guy she wanted, and she can. But it's not as if she wanted to. Walking out into the corridor, Naomi once again speaks up, a voice I'm used to and rather fond of hearing.
We should probably go somewhere quiet. I want to talk.
About what?
Come on. It's not as if you don't know by now. I want to talk about Kyoko.
I did, but it's always good to ask. Continuing on past the array of classrooms, my weary eyes watch out through the glass, trying to spot out the very girl in both our minds. It's evident she'd find out eventually. She'd find out all about the type of relationship I've had with Naomi, that we've become friends. As the afternoon light pierces through the tiny slithers of windows along the corridor, Naomi's grip slides down from my sleeve and towards the embrace of my hand. Nice. A nervous feeling. She's shaking. The warmth she's held inside her, shaking about in my palm, grows even closer as all she does is continue to tighten her already fierce, lonely grip.
This way.
Trailing around the school, we find ourselves bursting through the main doors into the fresh air outside. The world fading into silence as the sounds of students grow ever so muffled in the building behind us. The warmth of the sun complements Naomi's own, as both of us are graced by a passing spring breeze. Her hair, swaying softly in the wind, shines in the sunlight as she stands with her back towards my eyes. Are you sure we're even allowed out here? The question flies past her, giving instead a blank response as she continues to stare off into the distance. I guess now isn't the time for our usual back and forth routine. This is the real Naomi. You want to talk about her, right?
No. I just wanted to ask how your day was.
Oh man. Dude, I need a sip of water, man. This vibe right now, I do be vibing with this vibe. I ain't gonna lie.
Of course it's about her.
Oh, I can't pick up sarcasm. Fuck. Turning to face, Naomi's eyes are filled with a sadness seldomly seen from her, yet one I've come to know. Her lips remain firm, locked into a sorrow-filled frown as they glisten in the light, matching the teardrops hanging from her eyes. Taking a short breath, words once again start flowing from her heart.
I just really want things to be normal again. I don't know what to do.
It's kind of granted that our attempts to unravel Kyoko's hearts and tie it with her own haven't been working out as well as we'd hope. The feelings Kyoko holds are locked behind the thoughts of betrayal, regret, and sorrow that separated them in the first place. The belief she can't forgive her. But as long as those feelings are there, there's always a chance. Three options? What the heck? This is unprecedented. I can understand Kyoko feels the same. Maybe you should try harder. Yeah, so by process of elimination, not the last one. That's not what you say. No, we can't understand because we've never had this situation. Not this one. Kyoko feels the same. So this seems like the obvious. Wait. Does she feel the same? I think so. Yeah? Right? Maybe? Fuck, I'm gonna do it. Kyoko feels the same.
What makes you say that?
Naomi's face fills with a mix of hope and confusion, tears still occasionally falling from her face as she wipes at her eyes with her sleeve. With her blazer being batted about by the breeze, she really does look beautiful, even if it's a beauty filled with sadness. I have been talking to her. Wasn't that the reason you asked for my help? It's not as if I didn't want to. I want to see you happy.
But, Kyoko...
Her voice now filling further with despair, Naomi averts her eyes away as if to hide her emotions from my sight. An act of reservation from a girl usually dominating the world around her, Naomi, this whole time, has just been fragile. The heart inside her, broken, has only just begun to bleed with true emotion. Kyoko was just upset at the time, wouldn't you be? It would have been hard to forgive you, having been thrust into loneliness. You were there for her, but do you think she could see that? Would it really have been clear for her? She just needs time to see the truth. She needs to see you really matter to her. Naomi lifts her head only slightly from its sunken state. It's enough to see she's crying. Aw. If you were truly friends before, I'm sure Kyoko would be more than willing to forgive you once she's had time to gather her thoughts. You just need to keep trying. Now in full view, Naomi's tear-coated face catches the sunlight, teardrops sparkling in the sun like diamonds. All that comes from her are whimpers and ragged breaths as she finally opens her eyes. A deep ocean of azure glossed over with the shines of tears as she wipes them away, teardrops soaked into her shirt and sleeves.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. I bet you had no idea that things ran this deep between us. Did you?
It's not as if I didn't want to help. Not just for Kyoko's sake, but more importantly your own.
I don't need you looking down on me.
I'm not. I've been through this with you, haven't I? I just want to see you happy.
Thank you.
With those words, Naomi continues to wipe away the sadness from her face, quickly gathering composure. Seeing her like this, it's captivating, her heart being truly made clear as her feelings are released from their cage. She really is something.
Anyway, we should probably head back inside before people see us. Class will start soon.
Are you are you still concerned about being seen together? I thought by now she'd stopped caring.
I mean that the teachers will see us here. You idiot!
Baka. For once, it actually took effort for an insult to get out, a sign of sweeter things. Smiling softly towards me, Naomi's lips are marked with a faint redness from where she'd been biting them. Yet, it still adds to her beauty, a sign of the troubles she's had to deal with for so long. Despite her call to head inside, we still stand here together, basking in each other's presence.
I'll try to talk to her again, but it might take me some time too.
Ending her sentence with yet another smile, all I can do is enjoy the moment as Naomi continues to talk softly. A new tone of voice, one different to the hostility I'd gotten so used to. It sounds beautiful.
You know, the science labs look over the entrance, right? Perhaps she's been watching us the entire time.
Saying it jokingly, topping her thoughts with a laugh, Naomi's carelessness doesn't go unheeded in my mind as I reflect back over last week's events. Flashback.
The lab looks over the school entrance. You two were there yesterday. Together.
That was the most useful flashback, though. That was a well-placed flashback, probably the best one so far. Like, I'm not being sarcastic, it actually was good they had that there. Maybe. With her eyes now wider, filled with a newfound passion, Naomi closes the gap between us, resting her hand upon my shoulder. Nice.
But we should really head inside. The bell rang a while ago.
What? Retorting with a giggle, Naomi skips ahead of me towards the entrance, leaving me no other option but to chase her. Caught up in her trance as we both hurtle back to class like the delinquents we are, being together like this, we really do seem like friends. We are friends. It's something I can be happy about. The feelings inside me, now nestling, knowing that all we can do now is look towards the future. If we weren't friends, she wouldn't have let me see her cry. The only other person I can think she'd let see that is Kyoko. Nice. I just really want things to be normal again, says Naomi. Back to class, perhaps? Is that what we're getting at here? There we go. Afternoon classes come to an end. A figurative sigh of relief emanates from the surroundings as the class breaks out into lethargy. The teacher, not really caring to dismiss us, ends the class with a sigh of her own as she goes through her typical routine of addressing the work we're supposed to do at home. Yet right now, all that's on my mind are the thoughts of two girls entwined together, despite having that bond broken, or so I thought. Their relationship is hard to break. Naomi and Kyoko, both missing the world they had together, spending time with one another as friends. As the sun seeps through the windows, a tranquil look of calmness fills the room as specks of dust sparkle in the air. The shadows of passing students slicing through the light as I too join them in raising from my seat. Moving my feet in rhythm, I make my way towards Kyoko's desk before stopping with a moment's hesitation. She looks low. Oh, I wonder if she saw us. That's probably exactly what happens. Having just dealt with one outburst from Naomi, having a day filled with sorrow really wouldn't be invigorating. Are you okay?
No, it's all over.
What?
They kicked me out of the lab. I'm not allowed back in till tomorrow.
Why is that?
I...
Go on. Hesitating briefly, Kyoko's face becomes increasingly flustered as she looks down towards the desk, her desk. Such a tranquil sight quickly springing back to that of Kyoko's energetic self.
Drop the flask, okay? There. There's now a hole in the floor. It had acid in.
And you didn't get expelled for that. Why?
Because they called me a good girl. Or something like that. Just to keep getting good grades.
Oh, right. Where would we be without her? Seeing how good her grades really are firsthand would be something to witness, what with midterms right around the corner. Yet my own question leaves me wondering what such a world would be like, where I'd be without Kyoko.
Hey.
Sorry, what? I guess I zoned out.
I said that the club's not canceled. We can always do other stuff, right?
Her enthusiastic nature is enough to draw the attentions of the odd classmates, the stragglers still dwindling around in the room despite class being long over. I guess the two of us count too. Still, as Kyoko smiles blissfully towards me, hair caught up in the afternoon sun, I can only think of responding. I can't leave such a bright face waiting. What were you thinking?
Well, would you like to get a drink? We can always figure things out from there.
This sounds like a date to me, fellas. Alright. Kyoko, with yet another captivating smile, raises from her seat with explosive passion, almost enough to knock the chair over as it slides across the smooth floor with a screech. Covering her ears, Kyoko comically scrunches her face in discomfort. That was your fault, you know.
What? I can't hear you.
Taking Kyoko's hands in my own, I bring them down to her side, our palms meeting briefly as Kyoko stares towards me before quickly shifting her eyes away. A brief glimpse of her world as her chocolate eyes meet my own.
Come on. Let's go.
The short distance between Kyoko's desk and the door soon find us strolling together down the corridor. Only the occasional person passing by as the remainder of students find themselves either entwined in club activities or heading home. It's a life I was once familiar with, leaving class without any desire to further my time here. The bustling crowds quickly fading into quiet streets as I'd continue my day with no other plans but to spend time myself. Now that world has changed. Now I have Kyoko. So, what's your plan after this?
Plan?
What do you want to do after getting a drink? Quizzically tilting her head ever so acutely, Kyoko returns my question with one of her own. Something so rare, the action itself catches me off guard, let alone her very words.
I don't know. Would it be okay to say I'm fine with spending time with you? It doesn't matter what we do.
The pale shade of red on her cheeks, still a sign of her hushed embarrassment as the sound of our steps continue dancing together between the confined walls. By now, she's probably learnt to curb such expression over a simple question between friends. Yet, as I've learnt over the span of these several days, it's not like I don't want to see us go further than that. But there's something missing. Well, we'll think of something. You're clever, right?
I'm not that smart. There are plenty of things I don't know. Plenty of things I want to.
As we approach the stairwell taking us deeper into the school towards the cafeteria, Kyoko's words hang on the air as her sound is replaced with that of our footsteps once again.
I don't have enough.
With Kyoko staring in awe at the machine before her, we both remain locked in a trance as neither of us continues breaking the ice of the conversation. Instead, the brief moment of silence gives way to the sounds of club activities in the distance. Cheers and shouts mixed in with the sounds of the musical clubs furthering the melody we've become accustomed to at this time of day. Out of so many people, to be standing here as a pair takes my mind away from the possibilities which could have been laid before us, before me. Kyoko, now being such a major part of my routine, our relationship has become the norm, shifting away a life which was once filled with apathy and bitterness. With all the people out there, Naomi's sure to be one of them, too. Both girls now so present within my routine. Both girls now so present in my mind. Do you want any change?
Really? You do that?
Of course. Quickly slipping my hand into my pocket, my fingertips are met with the cool metal of loose coins as they make their way to Kyoko's warm palms. Releasing them from my grip, her face lights up with joy as she turns back to the machine and slides them in.
There!
An audible thud springs out from the machine as a small bottle of juice lands in the tray below. Kyoko's expression turning from one already filled with happiness to that of one overflowing with joy. Cracking open the seal, the bottle presses against her pink lips as she takes a long sip before pausing to turn to me. Traces of juice still lingering around her mouth as her lips shine in the light from above.
Do you want some? You did. How fine after all.
What?
I mean, do you want a sip?
This is an indirect kiss by anime logic, so this could be epic, fellas. Yeah, I knew that. That's a pretty direct way of asking for an indirect kiss. Ah, there you go. Like a beacon, her cheeks quickly glow a shade of crimson as she pushes her eyes to avoid ours meeting together.
You mean, we...
It's a saying. There is no need to get so worked up by it. Thinking about it now really makes me a little flustered too.
Still, with you, I wouldn't mind.
Nut.
Chewing the drink that is.
Her face continues to plunge further into an abyss of crimson, yet I too can feel the warmth of my blood being pushed up to my cheeks. My heart, beating rhythmically, certainly feels faster than normal around her. Well, pass it here then. Trying to muster up some sort of composure, Kyoko slowly passes the bottle towards me with the same flushed look coating her face. Her usual pale cheeks now glowing red as I take the bottle in my hand. Orange juice?
It's the best.
Her eyes briefly skirt away from my own, before returning back towards me as I slowly lift the half-drunk bottle towards my mouth. With nothing but the sounds of other clubs gracing our ears in this empty hall, the entire situation is being extremely overplayed by the both of us. In one swoop motion, the rest of the drink flows down my throat as Kyoko's face quickly turns from one of sheepishness to shock.
You drink it all?
I thought that's what you wanted, right? Half each?
No, I just wanted you to try some. Nothing else.
Kyoko shyly peers away from me, less angered by the fact I'd finished her drink, but embarrassed by the fact that I drank it. I really guess sharing a drink with each other is too much for her. As we both bask in another round of silence, I watch over her as she fidgets with her fingers with her eyes pointed towards her feet. Seeing her this embarrassed, this reluctant to talk, it really is different from our usual time together. So, Kyoko,
Yeah?
why did you form the club? You know, I'm probably gonna stop it here. This seems like a good point. I got an appointment anyway. Appointment with I can't think of a joke. I'm sorry. I just can't. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. They found the poop sock earlier. That was probably the highlight of the episode for me anyway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, go ahead and do me a few favors. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, help me find a girlfriend. And bye-bye.